Very good morning. You're watching Today in Parliament with me, Ashwarya, and these are the Parliament headlines. Rajya Sabha to continue discussion on Central Sanskrit University's bill today. Already passed by Lok Sabha, bill seeks to convert 3 deemed to be Sanskrit universities into Central Sanskrit universities. Discussion on functioning of railways, MSME and law and justice ministries listed in upper house's agenda. To also take up National Commission for Indian System of Medicine Bill and National Commission for Homeopathy Bill. And Lok Sabha slated to take up Mineral Laws Amendment Bill 2020 for consideration and passing. Discussion and voting on the demands for grants for 3 ministries also on the agenda. Let's take a look at the legislative business in both houses of Parliament today. The upper house will take up the National Commission for Indian System of Medicine Bill 2019 for consideration and passing. The bill aims to provide for a medical education system that improves access to quality and affordable medical education and also promotes equitable and universal health care that makes medical services accessible to all citizens. Union Minister Shripad Yeso Naik will move the National Commission for Homeopathy Bill 2019 aimed to ensure availability of adequate and high-quality homeopathy medical professionals in the country. The House will also continue further discussion on the Central Sanskrit Universities Bill 2019. This bill was introduced by HRD Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank on Monday and is intended to convert 3 deemed to be Sanskrit universities into Central Sanskrit universities. And the House will also take into consideration the Constitution Scheduled Tribes Order Amendment Bill 2019. The bill was passed by Rajya Sabha at its sitting that was held on 12th of December last year and then transmitted to the Lok Sabha for concurrence. The Lok Sabha at its sitting held on 11th of February this year passed the bill with amendments. Union Minister Arjun Munda will move the amendments made by the Lok Sabha in the bill. And also listed in today's agenda is the discussion on the working of the Ministry of Railways. The discussion will be raised by Trinamool Congress MP Derek O'Brien. A discussion on the working of the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises will be initiated by DMK MP Tiruchi Siva. And BJP MP Bhupendra Yadav will raise another discussion on the working of the Ministry of Law and Justice. And Lok Sabha too is slated to take up a number of bills today. The Mineral Laws Amendment Bill 2020 is listed for consideration and passing. This bill aims to further amend the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957 and to amend the Coal Mines Special Provisions Act 2015. Also listed for consideration and passing is the Aircraft Amendment Bill 2020 to amend the Aircraft Act 1934. This bill will be moved by Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri. And the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Second Amendment Bill 2019 is also listed for consideration and passing. This bill will be moved by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and it aims to amend the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. The House will also take up discussion and voting on the demands for grants under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Ministry of Tourism and the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare for 2020-21. All right, let's get all the updates. Kriti Mishra is now joining us live from Parliament. A very good morning, Kriti. Kriti, we saw both houses of Parliament have remained paralysed for 3 days in a row, over the opposition's demand for an immediate discussion on the Delhi riots. And in fact, Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu adjourned the House yesterday for the day, just soon after 11 a.m. And today, as far as Rajya Sabha is concerned, the Central Sanskrit Universities Bill is among the 4 bills that are listed in the upper house's listed business. It is also going to take up discussion on the functioning of 3 ministries. What can we expect in the upper house today?
Well, that's right, Aishwarya. We've been witnessing disruptions in the upper house over the issue of Delhi violence. Remember, the opposition is demanding immediate discussion on the issue, but the chairman has said that it is important to restore normalcy and peace in the national capital. He also said that he will hold deliberations with the leader of opposition as well as leader of house to ensure under what rules and under what procedure this discussion would be taken up in the upper house. The government has also expressed willingness to take up discussion on the issue post-Holi. So today also, as you've mentioned, important bills are slated to be taken up in the upper house, including the Central Sanskrit Universities bill to upgrade 3 deemed universities into Central Sanskrit Universities, and also the National Commission for Indian System of Medicine as well as National Commission for Homeopathy Bill 2019. Remember, these bills are slated to be discussed together, and also one bill would be returned by the Rajya Sabha after the amendments were made by the Lok Sabha, and also very importantly discussions on the working of ministries of MSME as well as law and justice and also railways is slated to be taken up in the upper house. So important legislative agenda as far as the Rajya Sabha is concerned. And what we're hearing right now is that Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan will also make a statement in Parliament about coronavirus. Remember, the government is working and all the ministries and departments are working in tandem to ensure that there is mitigation of the impact of COVID-19. The government has established the quarantine facilities as well as the screening facilities and the preventive measures that the government is taking. The government would apprise the members of Parliament today. So that is another important agenda as far as the working of Parliament is concerned. Aishwarya?
Absolutely. And Kriti, yesterday we saw that, Lok Sabha approved the tax resolution bill, even as the disruptions were continuing. And today it is also, slated to take up a number of bills, including the Mineral Laws Amendment Bill for consideration and passing. There is also another very important bill that is the aircraft bill that has actually been hanging fire for a very long time now. Any idea on, if some more bills can be passed today?
Well, Aishwarya, there's a very important bill that the government would like to ensure its passage in the lower house, which is the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Second Amendment Bill. Remember, this bill seeks to remove all the ambiguities and all the hurdles in the resolution process. It will ensure that the winner bidder is not actually liable to pay for the offences or the liabilities that is committed before the resolution process. There's another important bill, which is the Mineral Laws Amendment Bill, that is to pave way for commercial mining in the country as well as to ensure ease of doing business and promote foreign direct investment in the coal and the mining sector. Another important bill, as you've mentioned, is the Aircraft Amendment Bill that seeks to enhance the security in India's civil aviation space. So these important bills are slated to be taken up in the lower house. And also there's discussion on the demands for grants for the Ministry of Social Justice, Tourism and Health and Family Welfare. And of course, as I've already mentioned, that there would be a statement by Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Harshvardhan on coronavirus.
All right, Kriti, thank you so much for all those updates there. So we've been witnessing disruptions for the last 3 days as far as the second half of the budget session is concerned. We have to wait and watch what happens today. Of course, Lok Sabha did pass one bill yesterday, but no transactions really could be carried out in the upper house. And in some other business in the upper house, following ministers will lay papers pertaining to their ministries today. Smriti Irani for the Ministry of Textiles. Jitendra Singh for the Ministry of Development of Northeastern Region and the Department of Science. Dhotre Sanjay Shamrao for the Ministry of Communications and the Ministry of Human Resource Development. And members Anand Sharma, Manish Gupta and Rakesh Sinha will present Parliamentary Standing Committee reports on Home Affairs. And members Satyanarayan Jatia and Sambit Patra will present Parliamentary Standing Committee report on Human Resource Development. And another Standing Committee report on water resources will be presented by MPs Pradeep Tamta and Union Minister V. Muralidharan will move 3 motions to the election on committees on public accounts, public undertakings and welfare of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad will make a statement correcting the answer given in the Rajya Sabha on 28th of November last year to a supplementary question arising out of the answer to start question 115 regarding India Justice Report 2019. And following ministers will lay papers in the Lok Sabha today. Let's take a look at them. Kiran Rijiju for the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. Hardeep Singh Puri for the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs and the Ministry of Civil Aviation. VK Singh for the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Ratan Lal Kataria for the Ministry of Jal Shakti. Pratap Chandra Sarangi for the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. And members Sanjay Jaiswal and Prajwal Rivana will present the Standing Committee reports on water resources on demands for grants 2020-21 of the Ministry of Jal Shakti. Also, members Dayanidhi Maran and Vishnu Dayal Ram will present the reports of Standing Committee on Home Affairs, and MPs Dhal Singh Bishan and Dharambir Singh will present the Standing Committee report on Human Resource Development on the demands for grants 2020-21 for the Department of School Education and Literacy and the Department of Higher Education. Also, Union Minister Nitin Gadkari will move motion for the election of 2 members to the COIR board. And Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri will move a motion for the election of 2 members to the Advisory Council of the Delhi Development Authority or the DDA. And that is the wrap in this edition of Today in Parliament. Do stay tuned. The proceedings of the Upper House are going to commence at 11 a.m. Thanks so much for your time.